Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
All right, man. Breeze by here, and I just don't have time to give away prizes because we got too much going on. So we'll try to
time fly when you're having
try
fun.
to double that up next month and give you some prizes out there because I want to talk to this guy, one of my favorite guests on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And of course, when we talk to Joe Murfin, you know we're going to talk about Daisy Outdoor Products. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Larry. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great, and we were trying to get Joe on last week, but we'd rather have him on this week, so it's open mic Saturday, and you guys out there can – everybody knows we just got through I don't mean this because Arkansas is God's country, but it's very seldom that I have back-to-back Arkansas segments. We're going from Hot Springs to Rogers.
Right.
But we're going to two different
He's
two
working
places.
his way to Atkins. He wants pickles.
No, I don't want to pickle out of Atkins. When I was in school, boy, you could smell them pickles. I don't know. When I was driving home to college and back and forth, we would have to keep the windows up. I don't care what the temperature was, but I think that's changed. But, Joe,
that's fine.
Good to talk to you. Daisy, always wonderful to talk today. Joe, and we had mentioned – we've given away some rifles, and Joe does these things, and everybody has their career. But I wanted to talk to Joe a little bit about this Second Amendment rifle, a little bit about this special one that you guys have come out with. Give me some details on this, because this is exclusively by the Daisy Air Gun Museum, which you guys. Right. I want to talk about that too. So explain to our listeners what's going on.
Well, we got to thinking about. I don't think anybody in your audience or you would argue that the Second Amendment is probably the most important amendment to a lot of us within the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody here is a Second Amendment supporter. I hope they are.
Yes, they are.
And we kind of started thinking about how that gets started. How does that become important to you? Well, if you don't shoot and you don't hunt, it probably isn't important to you. And there's young people out there today that would allow that right to be taken away from all of us with the signature of a pen. And we all know that kind of thing happens today and can happen. And so we got to be protective of that. And we started thinking about, okay, it's not important to you unless you shoot. You're probably not a shooter today unless one time in your life when you were a kid or you were a young adult, you picked up a Daisy BB gun.
That's right.
First shot.
Yeah.
And that makes a Daisy Red Ryder a real important gun. Matter of fact, there's a rather famous guy out there who wrote an article in a magazine where he says, my first gun was my most important gun because I wouldn't have had any of these others unless I had that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of put that all together and said the Second Amendment really needs to be engraved on a Daisy Red Ryder. And so we did so. And if you go to daisymuseum.com, our museum's a separate nonprofit. It just exists to preserve history and do special things like this for collectors. So Daisy the museum asked Daisy, that's me wearing two hats.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. To make this gun and make it something special for collectors and for just everybody who wants to make a statement on the wall about the Second Amendment. So it's subtle. I mean, on the stock, it's got the Second Amendment. It's got an old illustration that came out in some Daisy ads back right during World War II, and it's got a picture, an image of Uncle Sam, and he's got some sort of long musket or flintlock over his shoulder. It's got a World War II soldier carrying his gun, and it's got a boy carrying a BB gun.
All right.
Yeah.
And the cool thing that you almost have to be told to see this. Or first time I saw it, our artist put this together, and I didn't catch it. But Uncle Sam and the soldier are looking at the boy. They got their heads turned toward the boy.
Yeah.
And the message there is that kid is our future.
That's right.
The next generation, the guy you buy the BB gun for today is the one we're dependent on to save this Second Amendment for future generations.
Wow. And we're talking to Joe Murfin. Yeah, he is the VP Public Relations for Daisy Outdoor Products out of Roger, Arkansas. And I got to ask Dave Gabbert and Gene Smith to join in on this. First memories, Dave, of a Daisy BB gun.
Mine was the Spitting Image 94.
The Spitting Image.
Oh yeah, I love that.
The one that looked like I do a lot of competitive shotgun shooting.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. And that where I cut my teeth more or less, learning the sitting on out in the backyard with a spitting image, not shooting carpenter bees.
Oh,
hovering
no.
around,
I think you told me this before, and I think I said, "Wow, you're good."
Yeah, that's right. And I know, Gene, you teach hunter education, safety and things like that, but the BB gun for Gene Smith over here.
Yeah, I use the muzzle loading BB guns in my class.
You do?
Yep.
And I've had them for
$4.99. Yes, sir. I bet you do.
I've had them for 30 years, and they still hit really hard.
They still
It's
hit
They seem
hard.
to last a
amazing.
long time. Yeah, and we've got a rebuild kit on that at Daisy if you ever need to.
He's taught over 20,000 kids, and I know hunter safety using that
Yeah.
that particular one. I know my first one, my mama took it away from me. I shot it in the house. It went all over the room. You know, I mean, she
What?
said, I was 12. She kind of said, Larry, you got to shoot that outside. It doesn't go inside. I
Good
was
point. Good mother.
good mother. Yeah, that's for
Everybody
sure.
needs a good mother.
Everybody
Yeah.
does that. But Joe, this gun now, this is not a limited edition, right?
It's not a limited edition. I'd like everybody in the United States to own one of these and have
Yeah.
it on the wall, make a statement. So, and the forearm, says, the place for your name, and then it says underneath that stands in support of our Second Amendment rights. So when you order the gun, you're making a commitment that you stand up for our Second Amendment rights.
And this gun
And,
is $60, right?
$60, and that includes putting your name on it too. So
Wow.
hope your name isn't more than 5 inches long. But
Okay.
other than that, we can
Yeah.
get it on there.
Wazalewski may not make it on there, but so how do they get their name on the list? Because you said it'll take about 4 weeks to get it shipped and things.
Yeah, just to kind of get it in the queue and get it engraved and get it shipped to them. They just contact the Daisy Museum. They can go to daisymuseum.com.
Yeah.
It's right there on the front page. They can click on it. That takes them to a shopping cart. They can order it. There's a place to personalize it. The other thing they can do is pick up the phone and call the Daisy Museum at 479-986-6873.
We'll
And
have
of course, that number's on the website, so they can find that at daisymuseum.com.
we'll have that posted, and I've already mentioned this. My 55th high school reunion's coming up, and I
Y'all gonna have BB gun shoot?
no, but I guarantee you this item will bring a lot more money than $60. I can
Oh,
tell you.
absolutely.
I tell you what, because I've already had people. I'm in charge of prizes, and last time, and when we had our 50th, and Joe sent us that BB gun with our high school's logo on the side of it. That gun went for like $150, something like that. It was amazing. Joe Murfin, thank you, buddy, for being with us on this Saturday morning. I'm glad we were worked this out, and folks, this is one of those things that you got to have. This is on your got to have list. So check. And if you're ever in Rogers, Arkansas, please go by to see the museum. I tell Joe I'm coming. I need to get up there because I've heard nothing but great reviews on it and everything. And this is a man that wears 4 or 5 hats for Daisy.
Let's do a live show there sometime.
He's talked about that
yeah.
too. Yeah, we'll open up the place and be there. Okay.
That's it.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Joe. Have a great day. Thank you. We'll talk. All right.
Thanks for everything you do, Larry.
All right, thank you, Joe Murfin. All right, let me talk about next week's show. Ron Wong will be in next week as we wrap up the Classic, the Bassmaster Classic. But we're also going to talk to Brian Kuntz. He's from GuideFitter.com. It's not a booking service, but rather a resource for people looking to book a trip, a fishing trip, a hunting trip, whatever it might be. And then, of course, we'll have Marty Marbury talking about West Tennessee tourism. We'll talk to Steve McAdams about what's going on at Kentucky Lake. And then surprise guest. I don't know who Ron's going to be. It may be the winner of the Classic. Who knows the way Ron works around.
Might be a
everything.
fish.
It might be a fish. It may be stuff like and I'm going to post pictures of this thing that Gene Smith has brought and put it on the website.
I am so glad that the way the window sits here, all I can see is its horn sticking up because the thing creeps me
It's
out.
looking at me all the time during this thing, folks. Go to lroutdoors.com. Go to my Facebook page because Gene Smith's brother will be on there with me. It is the most unusual thing I've ever seen in my life. So, no, it isn't. I've seen some really unusual things with that.
I'm looking at some now.
You are. You're looking at me right now.
Oh,
and
okay,
everything.
all right,
But don't forget, we're coming up, not next week, but the week after that is our turkey show. Where are we going to fill the room? I can't tell you who's going it's going to be all local guys. We got about 5 guys in the studio.
That show was so much fun last year,
yeah,
too. It
we're
was a
gonna
really
do
good
it.
time.
We've expanded it with a lot of we have the world champion turkey caller, Billy Yargis, will be on the show on the radio. We have these guys that can do turkeys without calls with their mouth. And so that's in 2 weeks. I can't wait for that. There's the music. Got to get out of here. Good to see y'all.
Good to see y'all.
Good,
When we bring a turkey next time?
You can bring a turkey next time.
Yeah.
I'm scared what you'll bring next time after the skunk hat he had on. Greg Ratliff, show producer, thank you for tuning in. Dave and Gene, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
This is Larry Ray reminding you, as I do each and every week, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And God bless the
God bless
USA.
the USA.
USA.
No